What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is just discussing the PTS patch notes for update 42, and there has been a Werewolf has got a unique buff. Sorcs are now Godmode and Immortal Mythic. So these are the highlighted things I've picked for the PTS patch notes. This is obviously week 1, so it's subject to change, but let's get straight into it. So the Werewolf has had some changes. They've gave it a unique buff called Terrified, but let's get into the transformation changes. So this ultimate and its morphs, light and heavy attacks now deal bleed damage rather than physical. So you've now got a chance to apply the hemorrhaging status effect, so that's a nice little buff there. So obviously werewolves do struggle obviously applying status effects because you're in werewolf form, so adding hemorrhaging will be a nice little buff there. But in particular, Raw, this ability and Ferocious Raw Morph now apply a unique debuff called Terrified to enemies. They hit for 10 seconds. Terrified doesn't do anything outright, but it places a tracking on the enemies to help mark their prey. And also they've done a change to Deafening Roar. This morph now grants major protection for slotting rather than major sorcery and savagery. While slotted, it also causes your heavy attacks to taunt enemies for 15 seconds. So the Deafening Roar, that's basically for PvE. So if you want to be a werewolf tank, you're going to get major protection and also be able to taunt enemies. So that's going to bring the werewolves more in line and more useful in PvE content. And this Terrified tracking is going to make the werewolves be able to detect an enemy. So once you've done that roar, it's going to mark your prey basically. And you're going to get a they've changed the piercing house, so rather than facing enemies and getting a damage buff, you're going to get a like a 10% bonus to enemies that are terrified. So once you mark them, you're going to get a damage bonus rather than just facing them. But it's only going to be 20% rather than 25. So it's going to be better when the enemies are running away from you. You're going to get more damage, more uptime on damage when they're running away from you, like sorcerers streaking away. You're going to keep getting that 20% damage buff rather than a 25% if they're facing you or feared. This morph now also ranks up with cost reduction rather than ranking up the bonus damage effect. So all in all, that is a not sure if it's really a buff as such. It will be if they're running away from you. And also they've extended the duration of buffs with the Howl of Despair up to 20 seconds rather than 10. So that, all in all, I think it is a buff, and it's a unique thing they've added, which is Terrified, so it marks the enemies. So it's going to be quite nice. So we're going to have to see how that goes in the PTS week 1. So I'll definitely be looking into that. We're going to move on to the next thing, which is the dark magic change, particularly blood magic. So this passive now activates when you cast a dark magic ability with a cost rather than when you hit an enemy with a directly applied dark magic ability. This was done to make the passives more reliable and easy to understand. But what that has done has made sorcerers' healing even more powerful. So if this goes live, you know, obviously this is just PTS, so they could make some changes, but let's see what blood magic actually does. So when you hit an enemy with a directly applied dark magic, you heal for 1600, and it occurs every half second and scales off your max health. So basically, you won't have to do just an offensive skill to do damage to get that heal basically. So you can use dark deal and basically any skill, and you're just going to keep getting healing, proccing all the time. It's going to make the sorcerers absolutely crazy. It's buffing the sorcerers even more, and they're going to get even more healing on top of what they already have. So sorcerers will definitely be top tier. But again, like I said, this is week 1. They might make changes, so we'll have to see how this does actually pan out. But this is a massive buff for sorcerers. Their healing is going to go through the roof. And And the final one is the new mythic, which is going to make you basically immortal. So it says it's a Rorken Steam Guard, so heavy hands. Activating block while in combat grants you a Steam Guardian for 0.5 seconds, reducing your damage taken by 99%. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. Blocking an attack while Steam Guardian is active reduces its cooldown by 5 seconds. So basically, every 0.5 seconds you're going to be immortal. And it's going to proc every 5 seconds basically when you're in combat. So I can't see this going live because this is going to be absolutely crazy. Stacking with other things such as like shield wall, you know, major protection, minor protection, block mitigation. This is just going to make some really terrible troll tanks. And also it's going to have some massive uses in a lot of builds and going to make people very, very hard to kill. I think this is going to get changed though, because this is just going to make you basically immortal. Reducing your damage taken by 99% is insane. They might drop it down to 50 because I think it is massive overkill. Maybe they're using this to sell the chapter, who knows. But this mythic in particular is the crazy mythic for the chapter. So this is just going to be insane. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, about these changes, about the werewolf changes. Sorcerers are going to be, you know, super, super powerful healing. And this super crazy mythic. So that's it for the video, guys. Drop it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do loads of builds and guides and cover a lot of details with Elder Scrolls. And I'll see you in the next video.